Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all have been having a wonderful month of July, a wonderful couple last weeks, excuse me. I know I started a new job, a new position, and I'm just like super busy. But I am here to talk about what's going on with R. Kelly and this John Doe and number one and John Doe number two. So John Doe number one, so in and about December 2016. So the funny thing is John Doe, so 2006, I'm sorry, so this is December 2006. So I know John Doe number one, that means he's only a year older than me, because in 2006 I was 16. So in or about to December 2006, R. Kelly met John Doe number one, a 17-year-old boy, and an individual whose name is known to the government. So they're listing him as John Doe to protect his privacy. He met him at a local McDonald's. And remember, in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, the young women said that one of his favorite things was to go to the local McDonald's and meet young people. So I thought that was very interesting that it just happened to really be a McDonald's. So I think that a lot of people that said there were untruths in there, I think there's a lot of truths at his residence. And so he invited the young boy to attend a party at R. Kelly's residence in Chicago, Illinois. John Doe number one, along with his mother and stepfather, attended the party. When Kelly saw that John Doe number one, when he saw him with his family members, Kelly advised him to come without them to the next gathering. So John Doe number one is invited to a party. He's only 17. So of course, like any young 17-year-old that's smart, he brought his mother and his stepfather. He brought his parents, and R. Kelly said, next time, don't bring your parents. When Kelly saw John Doe, so thereafter, Kelly invited John Doe number one into his studio under the guise of helping and mentoring John Doe number one with his musical aspirations. Kelly also asked John Doe number one what he was willing to do to succeed in the music business, and clarified that he wanted John Doe number one to engage in sexual contact with him. With that backdrop, R. Kelly then engaged in, I'm not going to say it again, contact with John Doe number one in violation of Illinois law. John Doe number one thereafter introduced Kelly to, among others, John Doe number two, a close male friend who was then 16 or 17 years old and whose identity is also known to the government. So he's John Doe number two to protect his identity. And Kelly sought to establish an relationship with John Doe number two. Several years later, Kelly started a relationship with John Doe number two and required his girlfriends, including Jane Doe number five, to have with John Doe number two upon his command, and often filmed those encounters. Kelly sometimes paid John Doe number two after encounters with him. Kelly also directed John Doe number one and others to engage with contact with each other and film those encounters. Telephone records corroborate Kelly's relationship with John Doe number one and John Doe number two, beginning when both were 17 years old. John Doe number one also introduced Kelly to girlfriends of John Doe number one. So I just wanted to talk about this. There is so much more going on. I'm actually pulled this document. It's about 80 pages from the official court record. It was just filed 2 days ago. But this John Doe number one and John Doe number two is a big deal. So let's break it down what's going on. So R. Kelly meets John Doe number one, and he begins an relationship with him, very similar to what the women said on Surviving R. Kelly. Once he had John Doe number one, he said, hey, do you have any friends that would be interested? Right? That's what some of the women said happened on the show. And the John Doe number one introduced him to John Doe number two. So he sought to initiate an relationship with John Doe number two, and he did the same thing. Hey, you all want to be famous, you want to be celebrities, you want to be singers, you want to be all that, you have to do this with me, right? And I think that this speaks to a lot of things that, rumors that go around on YouTube, also in the street, right? I live in LA, or I live in LA area now, but I moved out of the city, but I definitely still live in LA, and I know that, and all my friends are in LA, and I know that there are rumors around that this is what happens when people want to be famous and people want to get discovered. Even if you're a boy, sometimes you have to do things that you wouldn't have done. And so then John Doe number two was then recorded with having S word with his girlfriend Jane Doe number five. So we're gonna go back to Jane Doe number five's story and see what her story is. And so really it seems like R. Kelly just kept on a long standing relationship with John Doe one and two, with their girlfriends, and wanted to record it, sleep with all of them, and do all of that. Now, the interesting thing about this is that people are so upset with Robert Kelly about this. And I saw somebody tweet on Twitter. So we told y'all that R. Kelly slept with 20 or 30 underage women, young women, underage girls, excuse me. But as soon as we say one is a boy, y'all can want to cancel him. And one of the things that I think honestly is I think that a lot of his supporters are women, and I think that the women saw their opportunity, not opportunity, but they saw like, oh, it's still Robert Kelly, he's still amazing. But all that wore off when it was confirmed that he was also interested in men. And I said, so we're more homophobic than we are about protect. So because people are like, we gotta protect black men because they're just trying to bring black men down. So it doesn't matter. We still have to protect him. But when we found out he was bisexual, we are more important. Homophobia is more important. Good to know. But what I think about this, I'm not surprised. If you saw his brother's interview with Tasha K, if you saw some of the girls' interviews with Tasha K, that what they it wasn't on the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. I think because the makers of the film were a little worried. I think that they weren't sure if it was true, and they didn't want to get upset, or they didn't want to get sued. I think they thought that was a stretch. Maybe this is just my interpretation. I could be wrong. But I think that was it, and then now it's just confirmed because I have heard several dozens of stories of R. Kelly with young men. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm glad that the police were able to get John Doe number one and John Doe number two to tell their stories, to tell that it's more than just parents selling their kids. It's more than what people simplify it. Like, these girls just wanted to be singers. No, like, there's young men in this too. Like, this is like a huge problem. And so I'm glad that their stories are coming out. And like I said, there are more people, because we're up to like Jane Doe 30 and 40. So there's actually a lot of people in this document. So I'm going to do some more research and talk about those. But I wanted to go over this because I know this is the hot topic. This is what people are so surprised about. So with that being said, thank you so much for listening. I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful week. And I'm going to try and get this recorded this week. I still got to finish a couple more videos. But in the meantime, please watch my videos. Say nice things. I promise. I sound like I'm not nice, but I'm like a super nice person. So say nice things and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.